This is a VG2, the older style with the motor at a slant. This motor's overamping, and I'm going to go ahead and remove and replace the motor with the new style horizontal motor. Also, the kit includes a whole bellows kit with O-ring gaskets, a new cam. I already replaced the vacuum pressure switch. The vacuum pressure switch is dedicated to 10 inches of vacuum from the front of the pump here to the half ball cock of the toilet itself, or the head. It's just a diaphragm pump. It gets sucked in, breaks the micro switch here, which then breaks the DC connection until you step on the pedal. Once you step on the pedal, it loses vacuum, engages the micro switch. The micro switch allows power to flow to the vacuum pump. The diaphragm pump goes up and down like an accordion, creates vacuum. As it's sucking from this side, it's pushing from this side to the three-way valve. And this one is actually designed to go directly overboard or to the holding tank system. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling this motor apart and changing the bellows kit out and 12-volt motor. So first off, I find these yellow dishwashing gloves one of the better ones. I've tried many gloves, and of course the last thing you want it to do is rip on you when you're working with a head system with fecal matter. As you can see, they will rip. And to get started, you've got a series of 5/16 screws all the way around. You just pull that cap off, remove the nut from the bellows, slide the bellows shaft out of the cam that's located directly on the motor, and then you can pull the whole top off. Screw, you got to keep the cam from moving so you can break it loose. It should be finger tight here. It has a little sleeve. So we got that nut removed. We'll set that aside. It's being replaced. And you can see now that the bellows kit is loose. So we'll start taking out these screws. There are 2 screws about right here. Tough to get to because the motor's in the way. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around here, so a total of 8. And the previous owners has disassembled this pump before, and they didn't have the proper O-rings, so they went back with a silicone. So we're going to clean all that up and remove that because it doesn't need to be there. Get my extension out. Make it a little easier to get in there. Every good marine technician should have one of these. You want to be careful not to lose any of these screws, because I don't have any replacements. You're not going to find them at the local hardware store. They're real horse threads. I have to get that one by hand. So only one. Oops, sorry I dropped y'all. Only one I'm gonna have to get by hand. Kind of a tight little space. I'm not the smallest guy in the world. Let's get that screw out. Away. And just with a flathead screwdriver, I'm going to get this last top screw out of the series of 8. Okay, so we've got our motor unplugged already. Just quick connect, so we can see we got a bad wire there. And now the top should just pop right off. You can see there is liquid in there. We're just going to turn it upside down here. What we want to do is try to pull all this silicone off. It doesn't stick to polymer anyways. This whole body to here is all polymer. You can see it just peels right off. So I mean, it kind of formed a gasket, but it was unnecessary. I'm going to use my flathead screwdriver. You can see there's an O-ring right here. That's going to be replaced. And that just left a little bit. You can see it doesn't even stick to this polymer. Get as much as possible out of there. It don't need to be there. Don't want to miss any of it. So there we go. So we got a pretty clean top here. What we're going to do is refresh the plastic with a little bit of 100% silicone spray. It can't have any petroleum products in it. And that's just going to refresh the top, make it a little more pliable for the O-ring gasket. There. So take our O-ring gasket, spray some in my hand, and kind of just twirl it to make it pliable. Now, since we are going to use the same top, but everything else is being removed and replaced, so the motor will have to be disconnected, and the bellows and clamp will have to be disconnected. So to disconnect the bellows and clamp, you kind of just give it a good pull there, and you can see this black O-ring around the bellows, which is what I told you, a diaphragm pump or an accordion pump that gets pulled up and down to create the vacuum. So we'll just set that aside. You can see this is the top of the motor. It does have an O-ring gasket right here, plus it needs to be cleaned up. Silicone spray. The motor is on a bracket, 1/4-inch screws. Just take these 4 screws out, the bracket will come off, the new bracket will go on. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Do keep in mind after you do this to use hand sanitizer on your tools and on your hands, arms, and face. So we're just going to remove these screws here. And the motor should come right off. Need the extension. All right. And you need to retain these screws. Just taking out the screws, retaining them, because we're going to replace this motor. It's overamping, overheating, and tripping the circuit. So now you can see we've got our top completely off. So just about everything but the body of this pump is being replaced today. So you can see everything's been removed. And now we're going to condition it with 100% silicone spray. The whole thing. And just get in here and rub it, just to get it into the polymer.